I'd like to end up doing Sanchin, but there are various kinds of Sanchin. Breathing is important, not power. Breathing is more important. At the very beginning, there's a momentary exhale breath and then a slow exhale breath. Spitting breathing is a thing that spits violently, momentarily, is necessary when using martial techniques. But spitting slowly is mentally stable. This is both psychologically and data-like. So the inside of Sanchin is to stabilize his mind. Martial arts, that there are two of them. Please understand. And as the characteristics of karate, I'm coming from China to Okinawa. A partial technique has been modified. It's a difference in culture, and it's a difference in living habits. In the Shu society like China and the society of Okinawa in the past, of course, everything must be different from the way you move. I understand that this karate I'm doing now, let's first understand that it is not pure Chinese Kempo. This headwater was completely switched in Okinawa, even in China. Understand that it is a thing to come to the mainland at the same time. To be clear, it won't be nearly 100 years. Of course, in the direction of living here, there are parts that are being changed. I think it's natural. It is, for example, in Okinawa at the headwaters. What kind of technology was transmitted? I hope you understand within today. Yes, then I will do 3 teams. Yes, 3 teams. Ready? Please imitate those who can't. Yes. Yes, back in front of middle row. Yes, go left, pull slowly, yes, slowly out, finally spit this moment. Okay, return. Yes. I don't breathe when I put my hands back, exhale here, and go with a breath. This is very important in martial arts. It's not just that, yes, one step before yes, right, draw, right, return, yes. Yes, back. Try pulling it out one more time. Try pulling it out one more time. Pull out, back, 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 back. Yes, yes, like now. Pull naturally and obediently. Don't make this kind of movement. This is an unnecessary action because of human strength. Even if you rotate like this, it's simpler to return with the same rotation. So, try to avoid making such movements as much as possible. Yes, now, you have pulled it out 3 times. Yes, pick it up, cross your legs. Yes, rotate. Also wear the chair. Yes, return. Yes, forward. Yes, pull while being careful. Yes. Yes, pick it up. Yes, forward. Yes, pull to the right. Yes, release. Yes, pull back. Yes, forward. Yes, pull to the left. Yes, release. Yes, take it back. Take it all the way to the end. Take it, take it. Yes, pull to the chest. Yes, cross your legs. Rotate. Yes, rotate. Yes, return. Yes, forward. Yes, pull to the left. Take out. Yes, return. Yes, right? Yes, take out, return, yes, left. Yes, take it out, yes, open both hands, yes. Yes, grip it, yes. Yes, grasp it, yes, one more time, yes. Yes, lower it, yes, up. Yes, down. Let's lower it behind. Yes, that's fine. I talked about the two important breaths of Sanchin. I'm doing this part at the very end. This is from the previous great disaster continent. So this part is what it is. Of course, I explained this movement towards the moon. So I've been doing this until now. Actually, the way of pulling like this, among these, there is an important part to the way of pulling. Maybe when it's the teacher's turn, they try going around in this way, I think so. The correct way is to pull like this. That's right. As one way to escape when grabbed by the opponent, it becomes this kind of usage. So if you go like this from now on, this will also change as it is. This is the kind of usage. So generally speaking, when you're working shoulder to shoulder, it becomes like this. It's okay to do it here. And then pulling like this. We don't do this part one by one, as there are several ways to use this. Please understand. Of course, it's the same when gripped with that hand. This will almost come off. As a shoulder, this is on top. This hand is in the upper hand. So if you suddenly enter, just keep going. At this stage, the opponent is crumbling. I remember the collapse here at this stage. Then you can stay. There are various uses. One way to decompose, be sure not to dwell. Especially this part is the decomposition of the previous crushing position. I did it at the very end. In the middle stage, it is generally disassembled in this form. As I did this last time, if you receive it, please apply here. So 1-2 moves. I have to understand that this is it. Moro try to poke. If you don't understand this form of decomposition, you will be in trouble. The teacher Moro will poke anything with both hands. Everyone will do their neck. Poke with both hands. You can't poke it. This is natural punk both hands and try to dress like this because the predecessor is Garaki, hit everywhere. Before, it's all coming from the kick. So a Moro push is not a Moro push. The stylization of the shove is the Moro shove. I have to understand, this will be really ridiculous. When you teach, of course, beginner to do this to the basics. This is not what I want you to tell me. Basically, when you do, especially in the form of training, is still neat. Teach you this. In the training of teachers, this form to bring. Please remember this well. We won't practice this today, but we did this last time. If there's another opportunity, a similar movement will come up in a different way. At the next seminar, we will do something different again. So even with this, if it's a straight pass, it will come out like this, right? If it's something you can't thrust with both hands, you can't thrust that either. Things that you will understand immediately once you actually try. The fact that it's okay for this month and that month to continue in the opposite direction from now on. Let's understand that point. It's about my master, Tokuchi Masataka. He wouldn't say anything if you didn't ask. If there are no questions, it means you understand everything. So you don't need to learn. Both are the same. This is used when hitting from below. This is used when hitting up from below. So the grip of former headmaster Takashi Sensei is like this. He hardly ever hit downwards. He mostly hit straight balls with a slight upward trajectory. In the case of the 50 style, the idea is to push down diagonally from the shoulder. This is done as a training method for what is known as the fluorescent fist. Although it's done with the shoulder, this is how we actually use it. Holding the index finger with the thumb in this position is for pushing down. When taking this, whether straight or upward, it's particularly effective when pushing upward. This, right? It's more like teaching and being taught. In the current form of the competition, the way of approaching is extremely difficult. However, in actual combat, you just walk normally. Just walk until you get in front of your opponent. The moment you get in front, just change your footstep. When walking, normally you step from the heel. This is the same for marathon runners as well. However, when running short distances, it changes to the toes, the center of gravity. So when approaching someone with the center of gravity on the toes, the abnormal sensation is conveyed to the other person with the sense of approach. However, if you walk honestly with a start or heels, because there is no discomfort, you end up being able to get into a close contact state unintentionally. From that moment on, it's your own technique. At that moment, I readjusted the center of gravity to the toes. So in the current competitive life, the walking and stance, it's already understood that we are attacking each other. However, something like this, I end up walking, but you slightly step back, right? I didn't expect it to come this way, so I stepped back. That's why the old kendo teachers often say it's the same as just walking and striking. In other words, walking means getting closer to the opponent. Unless you naturally walk forward, it's a bit strange to just do this in the midst of competitive sports. Competitions have rules, so you play by the rules. It's most enjoyable to move according to the rules of the sport. So whether you have made a deposit or not, you cannot use sticky footwork with your heels. Footwork boxing is the same. It is impossible unless the center of gravity is almost not on the toes. This is natural. A person who can do anything cannot approach others in this posture. So you cannot approach people like that. So until you get close and enter it, just walk naturally. So approaching and being close to the people around, because you can fight in front of yourself in the closeness. When it becomes advantageous for oneself, that's all it is. Thank you. Is there anything? I think various things are probably coming out in this DVD. My master, Seikichi Tokutsu, whom I think has talked a little before. Because the human body is soft, it is not something for fusion. You will always end up with lower level techniques if you don't go for higher level techniques. He often says that, my master Seikichi Tokutsu. My master Seikichi Tokutsu. This old man just keeps riding on his daytime sleepiness. That's what I initially thought. Hearing such a stupid story, I wondered, what are we practicing for in power? When it said that power is useless, instantly, I thought how stupid that is. Then what are we earnestly training in power for? However, it becomes clear that it's not about merging human bodies. Not power itself, but everything from how to wield power. It becomes clear that there is something even higher. By practicing that, it's possible to acquire it. So beginners need practice for beginners. And then advanced practitioners need practice for advanced practitioners. I wonder if you understood that today. If you can understand a little bit, I think it can be said that today's seminar was worth it. Yes, please. Practice is basically strengthening using tools like GC and search. You strengthen yourself with training equipment. When you are strengthened with that, basically look at my hands. You all will probably think it's strange. My forearms are ridiculously huge recently. When I move my forearms, my forearms are ridiculously huge, right? This is also actually in the world of karate. I think this is probably the same with other martial arts. Here, the importance lies more in the muscle strength of this. Therefore, the training for this involves using Chai and Search. So at our place, besides our members, I practice alone. The core of that practice is using Chai and Search. When practicing with those, basically most of it will develop. Beginners must not learn how to release strange power. Beginners, as I mentioned earlier, are the same with the government. Speaking of beginners' practice, first, it is important to synchronize breathing and strength. Advanced practitioners should relax their strength before focusing it. It's necessary to practice this. Therefore, I won't say there are no teachers who still do this in the middle. Teachers who push themselves to the limit. That's why our specialized knights don't do foolish things. Those of you in a position to guide others, your practice should be different. Specialized knights don't do foolish things. Focus entirely here. The next one is the same. Relax your strength here. Keep the strength for about 3 minutes only here. It will smoothly go in. Even during this time, there is hardly any strength. When pulling, still no strength is applied. Slightly apply strength while pulling out. The gripping strength is just a little. From here, only this part concentrates. This is the point to apply strength. That's how I learned, Sensei, in the previous strategy. After breaking the opponent's hand, can you control your power at the last moment? Yes, that's right. There's no need to focus on the pulling hand here. It's enough to restrain the opponent's hand. If the opponent is in a normal stance, it's okay to strike while restraining here. In this form, for example, I restrained from above just now. If you go in this way, basically, this move is almost useless. Normally, you would thrust with a straight punch like this. Thrust with a straight punch. That straight punch will never extend. The reason it won't extend is because it's being restrained before extending. The trajectory of this move enters with a fluorescent fist diagonally downward. Furthermore, at the stage of entering with a fluorescent fist, this hand will distract from the outside, so this one comes in. The opponent's thrust does not enter. Common crossing method. It's one of the techniques to say, so it's like now I'm close, in the form of entering a beitin while holding down either. Taking is an aggressive technique, right? This is just a good technique to hit. As a so-called point-taking adversary, especially it can be used as a technology for all empty cooperation, but you can use a full con because I'm in the middle. Technically, it is easy to use for any competition. There is definitely a technology like when I try in that way, so hold back the puller. There is no need for the puller to be here. I think it's good to hold back a place.
きちんと整列して、最後ぐらいは正座して終わりましょう。はい、正座。黙祷。はい、黙祷ね。正面礼。はい、礼。